All down that side. Charlie 29, I'm doing that now.
Most cordial indeed. He was very friendly and now seemed to have a different attitude entirely to the whole circumstances surrounding the park.
He wasn't able to give you a firm date, but do you think that there is a good chance that they will be out soon?
Well, I've learned never to be too optimistic about Casement Park, but this time I do feel that there's a real chance that they may get out in about 4 weeks' time. Yes.
Why actually is it necessary for them to continue to occupy the park? Did they tell you what strategic reason was behind it?
No, their argument in that respect seems to have weakened considerably because the activity in the area has lessened, and so has the military presence, and there does seem to be adequate accommodation in the other camps in the area. I see no reason at all, nor was their argument very convincing.
Now, we haven't been allowed inside the park, but you have been in recently. What sort of condition is it in?
Well, not too bad in all the circumstances. The damage done is very little indeed, and in fact there is some minor structural alterations inside the ground, but they could in fact be said to be, if anything, an improvement indeed.
So in fact, when you do get it back, Casement Park may be in better shape than when you left it?
Oh, indeed not. No, it's not as simple as that. The front of the ground will need entire reconstruction. It is completely damaged in the stiles and that. And while we have been able to maintain the pitch to some degree, it will still need a lot of attention, and a lot of work will have to be done inside, particularly the social club, which has now been transformed into a dormitory. Not the sort of place that we remember as being our social club.
Well, suppose the army do move out in 4 weeks' time. How long do you think it would be then before you were able to stage a proper game?
At least another 4 weeks, and it would depend a lot on the time of year. Holiday periods and that sort of thing. It's very difficult to get work done. It would be at least 4 weeks, and probably 6 weeks. is very extensive indeed. The damage starts from the store at the back door where our hot water system was installed. That's all been removed. The ladies and gents toilets have been completely vandalised. The lounge bar has a great deal of damage done there, including some £300 or £400 worth of glasses either broken or stolen. The billiard table has been wrecked. Billiard cues, the balls, that sort of thing have all been stolen, and a great deal of other damage in that area. And one of our other stores, which contained fruit machines and our cash registers and that, everything in there has been completely wrecked.
How is this going to affect proceedings? You're just back in now. Will you be able to start games?
We think we can still continue with that, assuming we can get the playing pitch back into order in time. The playing pitch is not in as good an order as it might be, but it shouldn't affect the games, but it obviously will affect the social club. But one of the biggest effect will be on the morale of the county officials. My own personal morale has been completely shattered, and I do know that that applies to the other officials as well.
Well, what's going to happen now? You're in a difficult position. You've finally got the army out, which is what you wanted. Do you want them back in now to guard the place?
Oh, indeed not. No, the army should never have been in here, and we never want to see them back in here again under any circumstances. And we would resist the army coming back in as we did always resist them before.
But what are you going to do about your building?
Well, we will look after our own property, and there is a meeting of county committee tonight, and they will make decisions along that line. Exactly what we will do, I'm not too sure. I've been on the telephone all morning trying to organise some sort of security. The gates left by the army are quite inadequate, and there are various other parts of the ground now where there is absolutely no security. The difficulty is getting materials at all.
Have you any idea who would have done this?
Well, I do know it was done by young people. I also know that they did not travel any great distance to get to the park. I would not suggest for one moment that they were immediately around the park, but they were Andersonstown children. And whether organised or not, one can't say, but there does seem to be a systematic destruction in the place. There's sophisticated damage, and one wonders if this was just a spontaneous act.
just before half-time during yesterday's Ulster Senior Football semi-final between Down and Tyrone. The GAA have had worries about security at Casement Park for several years. The social club at the ground has been robbed twice since January, and because of those fears, no major games have been played there since 1978. So the staging of yesterday's game was something of a victory for local officials. One of them told me he had hoped a successful match might provide the breakthrough they'd been working towards for several years.
We have fought and we have argued and we have fell out with people at Ulster Council level to get a match back into Casement Park. But they were reluctant to do it because of the environment that we're living in. And always, the back of our mind, we were security conscious. But this year, taking into consideration it was the centenary of our association, they decided that one of the semi-finals would go to Casement Park, the other one would go to Cavan. We got it, and somebody completely messed it up on us.
What effect do you think the robbery will have on the future of Casement Park?
It could have a very serious effect on the long-term situation insofar as Casement Park is concerned. For it takes somewhere in the region of £20,000 to £25,000 a year to keep Casement Park. Just keep it. Make no improvements in it whatsoever. Just keep it. We don't have that kind of money in Antrim. We were depending on our percentage of the gate today to assist us to do a bit of work on the park. We don't get that. If we don't get big matches, we'll not get that. So it could have a long-term serious effect in regards to the upkeep of Casement Park.
In hurling, Antrim meet Tipperary at Croke Park on Sunday in the All-Ireland Senior semi-finals. Remember, it was Tipperary who beat Antrim in the league quarter-finals, but all round it's been a super year for the Antrim team, with the highlight this win against Dublin, which guaranteed promotion from Division 2 of the National League.
Well, we set our targets early in the year, Mark, that promotion was the prime motivation for us. It was very important for the future development of hurling. And playing Division 1 matches is what's going to give us the experience of winning or helping to win All-Ireland finals. So we look very much for the Division 1 league as a top priority now for us. Championship has a certain aspect that everyone is putting everything that they have into the match. We've prepared fairly well, and we have had intensive training now this past 4 or 5 weeks. So I'd say we're fairly well prepared, and maybe better prepared than we were when we played Tipperary before.